All right, what up, guys? Here we are, another episode of Guru's Views podcast. I got a very special guest with me today. Introduce yourself, please.
Y buenos días, 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 mi gente. Good day, darlings. What's going on, my loves? Feliz lunes. Happy Monday to you. It's your girl, La Loca. Que lo que, Tampa. What up? 812-727. How you doing?
Already. So, tell me, where are you originally from?
Jersey. Well, I mean, Jersey. I was born in
Jersey.
Boston, but I was raised in Jersey. I left here when I was 25, so I'm a Jersey girl.
Jersey. Okay. Uh,
Seven.
what, what part of Jersey, to be specific?
Perth Amboy, exit 10 on the turnpike. We got to know our exits. I think it's exit 10. I haven't driven around here in so long, but yeah, it's Perth Amboy, Little Quisqueya, which is a little Dominican Republic back in the day. Now it's different, but yeah, Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
So, what's the closest city, big city to you?
Oh, Nueva York, New York, baby. We're like
Yeah.
right there. Like
Okay.
it's like I live right across from Staten Island. Like you look
Mhm.
out the window where I used to live, and you can see Staten Island. But it's a train ride, maybe a half hour on the train, 45
Oh,
minutes
okay.
car, depending on traffic. Like it's just like the I-4.
Right. Oh,
Traffic
yeah.
crazy on the turnpike. But
Right.
have you ever been to Jersey or New York?
One time, a long time ago, it was like 2003, and I think we went to Newark with my family.
Oh
Yeah, yeah. And then we went into the city, into New York. So I didn't get a chance to explore all the boroughs,
yeah.
but I wanted to. I think we passed by the Bronx. I think I could be wrong. And then we then we were in Manhattan. We went shopping.
Mm.
Um, in the Lower East Side and stuff like that. But I haven't been back as an adult. Like I said, it's been a long time. So I definitely want to go back. I like New York. That's one of my favorite places. But I'm a West Coast guy. I like visiting LA and Vegas. But I like New York too.
Yeah, I've been to the West Coast. I love everywhere. I like to travel. I like to eat. I like to see things. But I am East Coast all day, Jersey and like
Right.
I mean, and Tampa, of course, Florida is my second home. But
Right.
New York, right now, not much to do if you haven't gotten your vaccine. So I tell everybody, it's all good. Don't worry about coming. But LA is the same way. So, but oh, New York is the best. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
So how is it like you said with the COVID still up there? Is it bad? Has it gotten better? Like what's it like up there?
I mean, the city's the city. You got your parts that you can walk around. I mean, you can't walk around like, oh my God, nothing's gonna happen. It's la la land. No. It's just like
Right.
anywhere you go, you keep your eyes open, head on the swivel. But
Right. There you go.
it's the same. Things
Right.
to eat, things to do, violence everywhere. I mean, it's just what New York is known for.
Right.
The only thing is, it's just like LA, where you
Hmm.
definitely have to have your vaccine card. They're not playing around.
Right.
If some place lets you in, they let you in. Everybody got to make money and do their business.
Hmm.
But they're not playing with this COVID thing. Like I've tried to make reservation for some friends that come in from out of town,
Right.
and they're like, "Nah, kid, mm-mm, mm-mm." And I
I,
will say maybe the violence gotten a little bit worse.
really?
Oh yes, honey. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What what
I
would you
huh.
go ahead? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, we always hear in the news about stabbings and stuff, but it's just gone up. I've seen it more now
Right.
than before, even before COVID. And mind you, before COVID, before they went on lockdown, some kid took my headphones off my head in the streets of Manhattan, right next to Madison Square Garden. I was like, this little mother,
For real.
oh yeah,
Damn.
hmm I had on these beats, and I mind you, when I was on the radio in New York, I used to tell everybody, yo, if somebody tries to, rob you, steal your stuff, just let them take it. Don't Your
Right.
life is worth more.
Right.
But my ass never took heed to that, and I ran after my stuff because in the city they work in groups.
Hmm.
Well, you got a child robbing you because they ain't gonna go to jail. They're just gonna go to juvie and then go home.
Right.
But then they have the adults scattered. So when the kids run, they run towards where the adults are. So when you go after your stuff, they're gonna knock you out quick.
Damn.
And it's like 4 or 5 of them, and they like one lady got her eye socket broken, nose broke, missing teeth. Thank God it wasn't me. I ended up getting my headphones back. I should have
Right.
never after it, but I was just like, something was like, yo, those are $300 headphones.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
my
those
money going on tree.
for sure.
Yeah, and it was daytime. If it was night, okay, let it go.
Right.
Daytime, so I ran after my stuff, and I got it. But I don't recommend anybody do it, because afterwards, yo, it was like, I think 4 women came that it looked like they were rolling together. And there was
Right.
a guy that was following me while I was walking back. And I was just like, girl, you could have gotten your ass beat. What are you doing?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Wow.
all good. You live and you learn. But
Yeah.
the violence, the gun violence, and a couple things in the subway,
Mm-hmm.
gotta keep your eyes open. Don't go out late at night by yourself, if you ain't about that life.
Right.
And not
So
even
let
during
me,
it's just crazy.
so let me ask you,
Mhm.
when did you fall in love with radio?
Oh my God. Since 8th grade, 8th grade, when Hot 97 flipped to hip hop. Because Hot 97 wasn't always a hip hop station. I forgot what it was prior to it.
Right.
But when I started listening to radio, I listened to here in New York, which is Z100,
Mm-hmm.
which like in Tampa, 93.3 FLZ, the same
Right.
company and everything.
Right.
So I would listen to them, and then my cousins came in the car and put me on to Hot 97. They were like, yo, that's whack. That's whack. You gotta listen to hip hop. I was like, I don't know what hip hop is. Give me the New Kids on the Block.
So that's interesting because Hot 97 ended up being a legendary staple in the culture. Later Power 105 ended up being in competition, but early on, the 90s, they had that on lock with
Sure.
potent, potent personalities like Flex, Angie Martinez,
Yeah.
who else is it? Mr. C.
Wendy Williams.
Wendy, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miss. I got to work with him. Like,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
they still have some great talent. It's just they're not the talent that I grew up with. They're more of the talent that you're growing up with.
Right.
So you might be like, yo, those are legendary, which they are. But for me, legendary and lover, Lisa G, like
Oh yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
original morning show for Hot 97,
Mm-hmm.
And no, they didn't start the roll call. Like, they're not the originators of the roll call. But to me, they were like, I don't, you don't know about that, but it's like in the morning when I used to listen to the radio, and that's what really got me like, yo, I want to do this. They would
Right.
roll call, it'd be like, yo, what's up, y'all? What you gotta say? Who on the phone with at least? And so you would come in and do your little rap. I would try in my house. Never
Yeah.
got through. So that really like piqued me open. Then Wendy was doing middays at the time, so she came through, and they did like a little what we call transition, saying goodbye from the morning show into the midday. And she was talking about Botox and plastic surgery, and at that time, that stuff was not the wave. Like now, it's like, yo, honey, I'm gonna go quickly get my little lipo, whatever, come
Right.
back.
Right.
So talked about it. I said, yo, who is this crazy lady on the radio talking about lipo? Okay,
Yeah.
a lipo and lips and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this. They get to talk all day.
Yeah.
And I heard Angie after that. I said, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I
Okay.
do.
So once you figured out that's what you wanted to do, where
Mhm.
was your first stop? And were you an intern first? Because I know you got to pay your dues. So tell us, where was your very first gig at?
Paying or non-paying?
Give me both.
All right. Well, first ever gig.
First
Uh,
ever.
well, see, it's a little tricky because as I knew that I wanted to get into the entertainment field,
Mhm.
television and radio, because
Mhm.
I grew up with MTV. MTV, like I am blessed that I came in an era where new things were coming that now it's like
Yeah.
kind of still wants to be on it, but don't, like, because MTV is not what it used to be. Okay.
Absolutely. Right.
But I came up on the direct effect and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I would always go after high school and
Hmm.
try to get on the shows, which I
Right.
did many times. And I had such great experiences. So that was really my first education because I got to see how people read teleprompters, how people interviewed, so that was like before schooling. That's how I got into it. I would go in there all the time for free, sit there and try to help, give coffee, like, and mind you, I wasn't even working or intern or nothing. I would be one of the little kids outside with the sign, picnic day.
Yeah, street team. Yeah.
So that's my first schooling. But then I went to technical school, dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting an internship before you really needed to be at a school.
Right.
I got an internship at BET Westwood One. So
Okay.
that's I worked there. And the funniest thing, the reason why I got the internship at Westwood One was I would go to Direct Effect, which was a dancing show where Funk Flex would DJ and this guy Tech from The Real World would host.
Yes.
And I would dance, right? And I would do it on purpose to do wrong, put me on camera.
Yeah.
And I ended up winning the worst dancer contest. Well, the producer of that show, one of the producers of the show, ended up being now the producer of BET Westwood One. And she's like, I remember you. You were the worst dancer. Come on, I interned.
Right.
I interned for Westwood One BET, and my internship was not like anybody else's. Like, it was just me and my two bosses in this little room. And what we would do is go downstairs to 106 and Park and interview every artist that was going on the show prior.
Right.
Because now, everybody can go on Instagram and interview quick and like how we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't do it. So we would go get the interviews, chop it up and email it to people and, to the radio stations. And they would be like, oh, we had this person here yesterday. We got, we asked them this and we asked them that. And, we would send them preps. So my internship was sitting there and interviewing artists that are legendary now. Okay. Like,
right. Give me one artist that like you said, that came through, but wasn't quite at that legendary status yet.
Oh.
Who? Give me one.
Let me tell you, the list is long. Okay. Long. But this one guy, and I'd say this all the time. If anybody's listened to anything that I've said, I always say never judge a book by its cover. You always think somebody's gonna be a one-hit wonder because that's the world that we're in. So during this interview, I remember I went downstairs. It was kind of cold, slushy day, and it was routine. Go down, and I walk in the room. On my left is Juvenile. So I'm about to go interview. Wow. And so I'm telling him, hey, I gotta go talk to this person, but I'll be back. I know you're gonna do an interview with BET.com. And he's like, okay. Mind you, I didn't know who Juvenile at that time was. I'm a New Jersey, New York girl. Okay. So back that thing up.
Now, was this out at the time? Was back that ass up?
I think it had just dropped at that time, or maybe it was big because he was about to do Spring Bling.
Okay.
Mind me to tell you how I embarrassed myself with one of his boys.
Okay.
So I walked to the back, right? Because it's 2 rooms. Juvenile's in the front, and in the back is my other interview. And I'm going to back there, and it's this gentleman, his manager, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dressed in his outfit, and I say, oh, hi, my name is Sharon. We're gonna do this interview. This is for I do the spiel that we always tell every artist in case they're wondering. Mm-hmm. And the guy was like, okay, cool, no problem. Like just moving. And I was like, okay. And then I put my little, it was like an MP3 recorder right there on the bottom. I take my microphone as an intern, okay?
Right.
I put my mic in his face and I said, because I can't, my voice does not go on it. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to really answer you back. I'm just going to ask you some questions and you answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I said, so how are you, sir? I said his name, but I'm not going to tell you yet. Yeah. I said, how are you, sir? You having a good day? And that was the only question I asked. I stood in front of this man for 2 hours of him ranting and talking. And the whole thing, I'm like, can you shut the F up, my dude? Like, you just talking too much. I was like, he ain't gonna make it. This song that was out was popping.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was fire. I'm just like, shut the, you're not, yo. And I go to my boss, I go upstairs and say, yo, this guy, the worst.
Trash.
And like, he's gonna be whack. I like the song, but he's gonna be whack.
Yeah.
To this day, I swear to you, I tell everybody never judge a book by its cover because it was Kanye West.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. He talked about from his head to his feet, his outfit, breaking down the hat, the shirt, the
uh,
jacket, the book
yeah,
bag. Why they call me the Louis Vuitton Dawn? Like everything, his pants, his boots, like it was crazy.
so
I was just like, can you shut up, shut
so
up.
was was this Kanye obviously before the first album because he was a producer first.
Yeah, no,
So
Through the Wire was the song that he was promoting at 106 in Park.
okay.
Like I didn't know him as the producer, like I just knew him as Kanye Through the Wire at that time.
Right. Did he have on the Rockefeller chain?
Had everything, the because he was known for having the Louis Vuitton book bag.
Pink polo.
Yeah, so he had the polo. He had,
Yeah.
I think it was a varsity jacket, but it was the brown Louis Vuitton bag, and he was like,
Wow.
pick this Louis Vuitton bag. You know why I put this jacket on? And he broke it all the way down, and I'm just like, I just asked you how you were doing. He didn't give me nothing about Through the Wire.
Wow.
He talked about just fashion and how the decision making into it is important. Oh my God! But never did cover because, honey, I was so wrong.
That is crazy. Kanye West. So, it's crazy because how he is now, a lot of people like yourself met him early on.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell people all the time, Kanye has always been like a radical and forward thinking, talking about everything that he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no surprise. But
I wasn't surprised. Like when the only thing that bothers me now with Kanye is just I feel like he knows he needs help, but he doesn't want to go after it. But then he surrounds himself with people that really don't care. For me, maybe they do, but as a person outside looking in, I'm just like, yo, my dude, why? Get the help, please. Get whatever you need. You have the money. You know how to get this money.
Right.
You know how the system works. And mind you, even though I was a person who judged him when I first saw him, now I look at him like, he was part of my journey. I talk about him every time I talk about my career.
Right.
I feel like he's like a bro. I never, like I don't talk to him every day, ever since that day. But I feel like I want to cover him and protect him, but it's not working. Like he's just out there. And
I don't know why. Like, therapy in the Black community, like it's nothing wrong with going to therapy and like you said, getting the help you need. I'm in therapy. We all need healing. You know what I'm saying? Go to church, go to therapy, keep God first, and it's nothing wrong with it because I think the stigma is off. Everybody think, oh, you got to take medicine. Oh, you crazy. It's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think
now it's a little bit more acceptable because everybody's more free to talk about it.
Right.
So everybody, it's almost like not to be rude to anybody because everybody you're going through therapy. We've all gone through it at one point or we continue. But at this moment, sometimes I feel like therapy is almost like a trend for those that don't really need it. They're just using it as a way of like, yeah, I'm going to therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my excuse of why I'm doing this and saying this.
Yeah.
Those that really, really need it. We, especially in this business, it's a mind. It messes with your minds and your emotions. So of course, therapy should be all day, every day on your phone. They have the app for it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it.
Because social media isn't making it better because that's bad nutrition for the brain. I feel like some stuff is poison. You know what I'm saying? I made a post the other day. Those gossip blog sites. I mean, we all look at them and laugh and stuff like that. But it's made to consume your time. And I tell people all the time, they have a business too. So the amount of clicks that you give them, that's money in their pocket. So you know what I'm saying? So tell me, what was your next stop after that?
Oh, Tampa, Florida, honey.
Okay.
I had gotten a lawsuit, and well, my parents are in Tampa, and I always swore I wasn't gonna go to Florida because a person from New York, New Jersey, we like, man, there's a bunch of old people. I ain't going out there. I ain't gonna die.
Yeah.
But I had nothing here. Like my whole family, my mom and my dad and my younger brother were there. My older brother was running the streets doing his thing. And I was like, I can't do it. And I'm hearing Wendy talking about how she had to leave to be able to come back and do what she wanted to do.
100.
Not like now where you could be from your house in wherever and you could blow and pop.
Facts.
I had to leave, pay my dues, and come back.
Yeah.
Tampa, and I applied for an internship at FLZ. Ended up getting a morning show position internship with MJ.
Hey.
That was it. From there, it took off. I
So
did
around what time? Around what year you came here?
in 2000. I think it was like 2002 or three.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at that time, Wild 98.7, well, at the time, that's what they were called. They had just came on the scene because I remember they were giving away bumper stickers at Tyrone Square Mall to promote this is like 98 to promote, their new, you know what I'm saying? So I know the market is different down here than where you were used to up north.
Yeah.
So tell me about the how music is received when you were in the southern market then in the tri-state area. Were y'all slower to get stuff down here, like exclusives of new music? Talk to me about that.
See, well, for radio, for me, it was different experience because, like I said, I did Westwood One BET, so it was a prep. So
Right.
for me, it was different because I worked with strictly the labels, like I had a radio station, so my job was to get everything new to give to everybody in the smaller markets. Which to me, I thought Tampa was a small market.
Right.
Anybody that's trying to get into radio, if you still want to, I'd say yes, it's still a thriving market. Tampa is in the teens. There's over 300 markets. I think even more than that.
Right.
And Tampa is in the teens. You got all program directors throughout the whole country coming there to go on vacation, maybe to the beaches or to amusement parks. So get in there. You will come. If New York is your ultimate mecca, you will be here. But podcast is a way to get through too. So for me in New York, to go back to your question, gave me the music. So I didn't have to worry about a program director or anything. I always had the music, but 2 weeks prior to dropping, like
nice
listening parties or go to the studio as a I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm looking like a raggedy. Oh my God. I would sit there and listen to people make their albums or their songs because the label was there to talk about it to the radio station. So it was two different experiences.
Right.
Now, with online social media, completely opposite. Yeah. As soon as they want you to have it.
For sure.
You guys were just as good as we were in New York. The only difference is that the artists were in New York making the music, so we may had like a leg up. But in Florida, everybody got the music just around the same time as across the country. You can't compare Florida to New York, and even LA. Those are different monsters. But the music and the accessibility to the artist is easier to me in Florida than it is in New York.
I got you.
So I loved my experience for music in Tampa. I learned a lot.
So you were here until when?
10 years. I did 10 years in Tampa and Orlando combined.
Tell me about your experience in Orlando.
Orlando and Tampa. Let me tell you something. I love Orlando and I love Tampa, but Tampa to me is, like I said, I sunk my teeth in Tampa. Yeah. I met so many great local artists. Tom J, what's going
on? Legend.
What's up? Like those are my family, and let me not forget H. What's up, baby? Tampa really created who the person is here. The person before you, the person who's doing television, doing music, doing everything. So Tampa for me was the creation, and then my experience in Orlando was flourishing a little bit more. It's almost like how some people will say, I let my dick out. Orlando, I had my first full-time job in Orlando. I worked with a great producer and DJ as DJ Nasty. I had my afternoon position, so it was two different animals. One, a little bit more seasoned. The other one, very naive and wet behind the ears, but I also was able to do more than one genre of music. In
Right.
I did country, I did news talk, I did sports, I did hip hop, I did R&B, I did top 40. And
Mm.
in Orlando, I was strictly just hip hop, and that was it.
Okay.
So that was a different experience, but they were both fun. I did a lot in both of them. Didn't get to do as much interviews as I, of course, in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes through my studio in New York, but in Tampa and in Orlando, not really. We don't much, but we had a couple.
Because I know with radio, like one of my cousins, he
Mhm.
he works at 99 Jams in Miami.
Oh yeah, different monster too.
Yeah. So whenever I go down to visit, the last time I was there, it was a couple years ago before the virus, and they were doing Rolling Loud at the stadium,
Hmm.
and I got backstage pass because, like I said, my cousin works there,
Hmm.
and it was crazy because it's like the radio goes hand in hand with the community. You
Yeah,
know, you do a lot of work in the community, radio broadcast, like when the holidays are coming, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So I always have been intrigued by radio. So I always wanted to find out how to get your foot in the door pre social media, like because I know it was always harder then, but like you said, now you could be on your couch and do like a, a morning show.
and people watching, like it's still the same because you have to have a buzz. Don't nobody want somebody that don't nobody want. So
Facts.
in Florida, how you talk about being in the community in the streets, that really is how I got in,
Mm,
on the radio because I would be an intern, but I was out there driving the van and I was hosting community events, putting up banners. It was anything and everything they wanted. It was more accessible here. We don't do a lot of community things. It's maybe one or two people because we're a union.
right,
So there's, like working. That's one thing that I realized when I moved here, because for me, I was like, yo, I got to be out in the streets. I got to show everybody
right.
that I'm here. I'm about the community, which I am. And
Yeah,
Lord, I could do that here. I can't. I can't. There's too much laws for the union that I couldn't do it. But in Florida, yes, the stations everywhere. There's no reason why you can't make a name for yourself because the stations are out there. If you are as an intern or a street teamer, and that's a way to get in. You could be an intern or
street team.
hired as street team, a board op, and really working it. Don't go in there thinking, "Oh, I'm street team and I'm going to be on the radio." No,
Nah. T-
you got
So
to learn.
tell me, who was the person in your radio career that gave you the game to like? Because I'm very I pay attention to detail, and I
Yeah,
pay attention. And like I said, I was telling you before we started, I went on your YouTube.
yeah.
And you make your interviews so effortless, and your personality is so bigger than life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell me who passed you on the game and got you to where you are now as far as the knowledge.
Okay, it's so many people. I can't just say one.
One person, right?
I've been blessed to always have people that always wanted to pass it on. There's some that maybe not, which I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
not mention, but Martin Febrez, first person that allowed me to do interviews, and I wasn't even on the radio. I was more of a street teamer, and he would listen to the MJ Morning Show. Martin, I love him to death. He put me on to who I need to contact if I wanted to do interviews and I'm not on the radio, and how to present myself.
hmm
Help me perfect my interviews because honey, I would talk. You know, hey, honey, man,
yeah.
talk. Even the artist, Hannah's baby boy Stu, Chase,
Yes.
H Vidal. That was
Uh-huh.
Pekin. That was my beat family. Those men
Yeah,
right there,
yeah, yeah.
they listen, they really, really, really not only on air but off air helped me be a strong woman that I am now. And I wish I could say it was more females, but unfortunately this business is male dominated. So
Right.
I was always surrounded by men, and those men, they didn't play when it came to the game, and also whoever's part of the family. Like, they always protected me. They always showed me. H. Vidal wanted me to be a DJ. I didn't want to be a DJ. He wanted to show me that. That's how much he wanted me to flourish in the business.
And win, right?
Attention, maybe I'm making some bread. Uh, so that was my B family that really put me on game. And then I can't deny my FLZ family. Like, but may he rest in peace, Kane. Kane was a man that taught me how to run the board. I never knew how to run the board. He showed me. He let me run his board, and he did afternoons. MJ, he taught me the way to really manipulate this business. Okay.
Right.
I was a student of, because there's two different, there's two different games in radio. There is top 40 and hip hop. The top 40 format, you really got to have that if you're not of the Caucasian,
Right.
you gotta have that gift of gab, and you really gotta know people. So MJ taught me how to get those people, and it just really have a great fabulous show. And so I have MJ, I have Kane, I have Tommy Chuck. Those are my three guys over there.
Yeah.
Those are the people that really taught me everything, how to record interviews or record callers and play them back a couple days later, so that I have a show for the next couple days, and I'm not like, oh my God, nobody's calling, I have nothing. I gotta always make the show popping. So a lot of times you think these calls are live, but we started working on the call on Monday for the calls on Friday. So on Monday, if I know I'm going to talk about whatever's trending, like, okay, right now what's trending, the gun, right?
Yeah.
I would talk about it on Monday real quick, and then use some of that topic for something on Friday. Like, yo, what would you do if your family member were to pass away from the gun? Or, oh, have you ever thought of getting into the acting game? Whatever. I would think about something, how I could translate it for Friday. So Tommy and not Tommy, Kane and MJ taught me how to keep things in the bucket. Hannah's baby boy Stu, Eakin, Chase,
Legends.
Dal, like, they taught me just the swag of it, the interview, music, the love, how to make it good. And Stu taught me the music director position, because he had me out there with the labels. I didn't know a lot of the behind the scenes, and Stu really taught me that. So that's my education came from men.
Tell me, because people see, we live in a society where people see where you are now, and but they don't see, you had to crawl before you walk. So tell me, right? So tell me and my audience some trials and tribulations that you faced in your career.
Oh, getting fired, I don't know how many times, and not having any money. Like, I worked for free for a good 5 years.
Wow.
5-6 years.
Free. Yeah.
Just get in the game. And I would pick up, and this is outside of radio, I would pick up jobs, like maybe being a nanny or working at a pet resort, pulling ticks out of dogs' asses and stuff. I would do that, and I wouldn't sleep at home. I had a bed, my parents, until my dad kicked me out for a little bit, because he was like, "You gonna get you a job and pay bills."
Yeah.
My house. So I would sleep at the station. I would sit there and be like, "Yo, let me just edit your interviews," and they wouldn't pay me nothing, but I would pay those dues. But I think the trials are, but when you get that first full-time job and you lose it, like, fuck, I got no backup plan, no money, no nothing. That happened to me several times, and I don't even call that. There's really no like trials. It's just lessons. Like, you learn. It's part of the game. Once you know it's not personal, it's business. You're good. But when it becomes personal, you already know you're gonna burn that bridge down. Put that gasoline liquid, light that bitch up. Put the gasoline again and light it up, because those situations. But I mean, losing my job at least 7 times.
What gave you that just to keep going. Because I mean, like you said, you weren't getting paid, but you got paid in the knowledge. You got paid with, you know what I'm saying, with the information, and that's priceless. So what made you kept saying, like, you know what? They knocked me on my butt, but I'm gonna keep on going because this is what I really want to do. What kept driving you?
Let me tell you, God,
God.
like he, when he knows, when you know something is for you, it's like God always makes the way for you to come back. You know,
Amen.
I lose my job on the radio. Like I was making for this last couple jobs, even back then in Florida. But I lost my job. I would pray to God, and I think that's where I really became stronger with my faith, with my relationship with Him. Matter of fact, let's rewind. I lost my job. I was working at I was doing afternoons.
Mm.
It was situation happened. We parted ways, and I was
Mhm.
crying and praying to God, like, Lord, please, I don't want to let, if this is for me, open up another door for me. But if it doesn't happen now, let it happen later. But at least let me make some bread, so
Right.
I pay my bills, and
Yeah. No.
open up that door.
Yeah.
And I was honest to him about what I wanted to do. I said, "Oh, right now while I'm waiting, can I travel with my brother? Can I do a TV show?"
Mm.
And I swear to you, God went and did exactly what I asked for. Like mind you, out of the blue, I saw an audition for a reality TV show. And God was like, "You're going." Mind you, I was supposed to go with one of my former coworkers. He
Mm-hmm.
bailed on me. He's like, "Oh, I can't go." I said, "Okay, fine." So I asked my brother. Usually my brother has no time for me. And this is
Right.
my
Yeah.
and this time he had time for me. We drove from Jersey. Oh, not Jersey. We drove from Tampa to Miami to audition. We were the first one there.
Whew.
First one, crack the dawn and like ass crack to Miami. Get in line, do our audition.
Yeah.
As soon as we're walking away, somebody pulls behind us, says, "Hey, we would like to talk to you a little bit more." I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Fine." We interviewed again and we interviewed. We like you. We want to interview you again. We like you. We want to interview you again. And then we ended up getting casted for a reality show. And we traveled. Like I said, I want to travel with my brother. And I know it's hard for people to believe, but when I tell you I could walk in my testament of whatever I ask God, He has given it. We did the reality show on NBC. We drove a car throughout the country. We would fly, drive. We would hang off of a building, fly a plane, like, and got paid to do it. This was
Yeah.
in between. Because mind you, I kept telling God, listen, if Rick was for me, I want to get back in there.
Yeah.
Let me go away. As soon as I was done, I came back and somebody called me about a job on the radio. Got on the radio.
Look
Like,
at God.
yeah, he put that burning flame in here. Like he's like, I got you. Just take a break.
Mm-hmm.
I got another door that's gonna open for you. I got another door that's gonna, and that's what keeps me going, even to this day. In the
Hey.
beginning, I was like, ugh. Like, do I
My-
trust this man? I ain't even seen him. Man, woman, bush, rock, whatever you want to call him. To me, he's a man. All right.
right.
I'm like, I've never seen you.
Right.
But when it keeps happening over and over again, I'm like, okay, I can't deny this person above.
Right.
Like, y'all
Right.
got me every time. I
Right.
might do some ass jobs in between or some
Mhm.
great jobs, like working for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm over here hooking people up with tickets to go watch baseball. I get paid to give you tickets to
Right.
watch baseball. Like, come on. Like, that's big. Or,
But
like I
you,
said, pulling ticks out of dogs' asses. That sucked. But right after that, I would do it for a couple of months and boom, a radio job would open. Hey, you want to work? I heard you're looking. Or I would apply. Hey, come in and let's talk. You
right.
those have been blessings on blessings. And that keeps me going. Because I know I'm about to come back on. I just don't know where and when. But
Right.
back to radio.
My therapist and my pastor and my grandfather also tells me when ground gets shaky for you, that's God trying to elevate you to another level.
Mhm.
So, so the trial that you went through, it was a little shaky, but you got better and better. And you were also learning too. I think that's another thing when we go through our trials and we're going through something, a dark time, we don't realize, okay, God, what are you trying to teach me? What are you showing me? What lesson am I supposed to learn? You know what I'm saying?
Like
So,
to me, sometimes I feel like it's not even any more of a lesson. I feel like it's more of I'm being his testament
right,
because because of the reach that I have. I feel like I'm now like at least giving faith and hope to those that maybe didn't believe in God or didn't believe in their talents. Like, you could fall, you could lose your job, you could have nothing. You could be making 6 figures. Like, I was making 6 figures to nothing for like almost a year, to back and then make not make 6 figures. I haven't seen 6 figures yet again. Okay, like,
Yeah.
God is good. I guess he's holding out. He brought me close to it again,
Right.
but he brought me back, and that's the thing. Like, it don't matter. Like, one door closes, like you said,
No.
just setting you up for your next one, your next true Hollywood story. Or
Yeah.
if it's for the radio, it gives you something else to talk about when you get back on the radio, because you could leave one job into the other and you're not going to appreciate it. But when you're in between that and you see how he brought you to where you are, he, she, it, rock, whatever, brings you to where you're supposed to be. It's a testament. Like, I know that there's somebody right now that is like, yo, I'm never gonna make it. My music's not, people keep telling me I'm never gonna get them followers.
I'm trash, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
vibe that you're giving yourself
Mm-hmm.
is killing you. And you already got people behind you telling you. I mean, right next to you. It could be your wife or your man telling you ain't never gonna be shit.
Right.
But if you keep saying it, you're not. But if you believe in at least in yourself, if you don't want to believe in anybody above, believe in yourself. You inspire. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. Get there. Even sweeter. It'll be so sweet. Because everybody, if you get something quick and you lose it quick, you don't. Good things come when it takes process of time.
Tell me, what are some of your most memorable interviews in radio? Give me good quickly and give me bad. Give us both. Give me a good one. Give me a bad one.
Oh my God. I haven't had too many good to even think about the bad, because it was never really, it's just every artist has a bad day. So I can't say bad interview. It's just maybe a day they wasn't vibing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say that. But great interviews, oh my God. The one that I think anybody who has followed me would know, it would be Janet Jackson. To sit there.
I saw that on your page. I saw that.
An icon that not only I grew up, but I think the whole country, the whole world that knows the Jacksons, know their history, grew up with them, their music, their parents played their songs for them, or they talked about their Michael touching, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There and talk to her was just, it was sweet. But the icing was that my father finally believed that I was doing something that was good. Mind you, this just happened like maybe 2 years ago.
Right.
That was the where I was just like, okay, I made it. Okay, Daddy knows. He didn't care about Kanye.
Right.
He didn't care about Mary J. Blige. He didn't care about Diddy. He didn't. None.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson. He was like, oh, you're really interviewing people.
Yeah.
I cried that day. I cried so hard. It wasn't because of Janet.
Yeah.
It was because of my dad.
Yeah, he gave you that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like, yo, bitch, you made it. Like, and I still choke up now, because it's just like, of course, Janet Jackson, cool as fudge. Oh my God. She a businesswoman, but when I say she cool, like, we sat there prior to the interview. Every artist, their publicists send you a list and tell you, don't ask this and don't ask that.
Yeah.
She went before the interview, though, and talked about everything that I was not supposed to talk to her about.
Did you ask about Tupac?
No, I'm not going to talk about that, okay? Because it was prior to the interview. So I love Wendy to death. How you doing? That personality. When I talk to you, if we talking off mic and you don't want me to talk about it, I ain't talking about it.
Right.
See, honey, I'm here. And we sat there and talked about relationships. We talked about kids. Prior to, she's always been a celebrity.
Right.
But prior to radio, I had, during radio, I tore my ACL, my meniscus. So I played softball. And so she talked about how she played softball. I didn't know that. That's something that we talked about on and off the air.
Mhm.
And so like it was just super cool to sit in it. That was like the legendary interview, like Janet Jackson.
Yeah. That's yeah.
And she sounds just like Michael. Just like
Really,
Michael. And
really.
everything. It's like so that was one great interview. Mary J. Blige, another one.
Of course.
Like, dude, she sat there during the interview. We it was business. Ask questions, whatever. And then like an hour later, we're sitting with the mic off, just talking, going back to back about relationships. Boy.
Let me ask you this.
uh,
What guest made you the most nervous? Like you was like tripping, like fumbling over your stuff or couldn't really get it right? Like
none.
none?
You know why? Because we sit and talk before it.
Right.
So
Right.
we're just cracking jokes back and forth. Like if I wasn't nervous about Janet Jackson, but there's no reason
Ain't
to
nobody gonna
about
be
nobody else.
yeah.
But they've all been fun. Like by the time I started really interviewing artists was when I made it to New York. I did some in Florida, which was great and fun, but I was part of like the Nut House. So it was three of us.
Mm-hmm.
I did 50 in Tampa, I mean Orlando, but it was quick and easy. It was nothing that nutso. It was New York that I started doing interviews, and they handle themselves a little different in different areas. So in New York, straight chill, they would come in and it's usually just them or them and their publicist, and they see me raggedy and they see themselves raggedy because they it's a New York vibe.
What are some of the radio politics that you got to play with the artists and the labels? Like you said, I know you said don't ask this, don't ask that, but like tell us about some of the politics that the radio host has to play with the label.
Really, it's not even with the artist, it's with the label themselves. Sure, we don't make the decisions on the songs. Don't let any radio personality, unless you're Flex, tell you, and maybe Angie, yes. There's one person, two people, matter of fact, that pick the songs, and that's the music director and the program director. Even the DJs they get a list of songs that they're allowed to play. You're not there breaking people's records again, unless you're Flex,
Right.
or
Right.
at a different caliber. You still have to run these songs through programming.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me you're gonna break a country record because you cool artist and the label.
Yeah. Right.
R&B station. Like that's not how it works. Don't let these don't let these radio personalities fool you and take your money, because one, you're not supposed to give them money. Because if so, and you did, I'm not snitching, but I'm just saying, okay? This is just game.
Yeah.
You gave money to an artist, to a radio personality, a music a program director, and you did make it on, and you got that paperwork behind. It's called payola plugola. Their job, they could do jail time, they could never do radio ever.
Really?
You just call up, it's called FCC, and be like, this person played my song, I gave them this money and this, and you got the whole trail. Especially if your song didn't pop, there's some salty people. I just told you that one, but but the problem is just a lot of times building just great friendships with the labels. It's the label reps. It's something that worked well for me, because a lot of label reps were like, "Oh, she's cool. You could interview with her. She's fun. She's not about that messiness." They build relationships with you, with the radio personality, the music directors, the program directors. And that's how you get an interview. A lot of times, if you have a great friendship with the music wise, when it comes to the artists themselves, if you don't play their songs, they don't really fuck with you unless somebody coaches you. And not everybody can play the songs, because I know I couldn't until I became a music director.
Right.
Ball game. I didn't take no money. So I like supporting everybody. So I those program directors.
So you've accomplished quite a bit. Like I said, I did my homework.
Yeah.
How did you get the role on I want to say, is it
Aboutelmas Way?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Oh man. Another one. God closes the door. Okay. Closes the door right in your face. On February 16th, so right before COVID, the company I worked for was selling the station that I was at. So they fired everybody in November, myself included, in November. I think it was November 16th as well. They brought me back because I was doing a show in Dallas. So in radio, you're not only doing one station, you could be doing thousands of stations.
Syndicated, right?
Yeah, not all. There's different. There's syndication,
Oh,
and then there's just voice tracking.
ah,
Syndication it's a very lucrative side of radio, but voice tracking, you get one paycheck, maybe get $5 extra on your paycheck
mm.
for other markets.
Okay. I'm glad you gave us the difference.
Yeah, there's difference. Yeah, let people think that, oh, I'm syndicated. No, you're not.
No.
Syndication is that one show that you have is going out to all markets.
Right.
Paid very well for all the markets.
Yeah.
For voice tracking, you're getting maybe $5 to $10 extra.
Right.
Not an hour.
That's
$5 to $10.
Yeah.
It's that. You might get it one time for the 100 stations that you're doing, but what? So I was they kept me because I was doing another show in Dallas. And so they were like, all right, fine, we're gonna let you continue with the station that we already fired everybody at until we find a buyer. So it was just me and another board op, and the board op was doing the morning show. I was doing on air, music director, program director, promotions. Because when I said they fired everybody, they fired everybody.
Clean house
all the way. So I did that all the way up to February. I've gotten fired from this, not fired. It's so hard to say, but I got let go from the company 3 times. Wow. So February 16th was the 4th. They let me go. They were like, hey, nobody's buying and we can't keep paying, having people on the payroll. We're going to let you go from here. We're going to let you go from Dallas. And so February 16th, that night, I didn't cry. Once you get let go from one job, you become, immune to it. You're like, all right, whatever. Paper going. And did I save my money while I was working? No. I'm not going to act like I'm one of those smart money. No, baby. No. I was paying almost damn near $3,000 worth of rent. Apartment in Jersey. My money was very thin. I wasn't making a lot. But I got by. God made sure that I was good. I ate. He
provided.
Well, he knew it. So that February 16th, I came home, and when I got let go the second time, I met a gentleman who was telling me about doing background for TV and movies. It's called Central Casting. So it's a company here in New York, and they have them in Florida and different places. You sign up, and it's free. You sign up for free. You go in there, and they'll tell you, hey, you need somebody to come play in the park for like an hour. It's $125, not an hour, $125 for 6 hours. So you go there. They tell you what to wear. And the background of a movie or a TV show. I was able to do Orange is the New Black. I got to do Power. I got to do a bunch of TV shows in between that. Play in the park for like, what was it? Oh, it was me. Oh, sorry. Oh. On February 16th, I went back on that website, which was casting. I was looking to see what they had. Let me get back in there, see if I could be a background. And I saw they were looking for somebody to voice aunt. I said, fuck it. I lost my job. I ain't got nothing else left.
Why not?
Throw it at the wall. And I did.
Yeah.
I did. I recorded like right off my phone. I didn't do nothing no spectacular. The lady was like, hey, can you record tomorrow, but with better quality? So I went over to this store here in New York. I bought some things. I asked my friends, hey, what do I need to record from home? And mind you, this is before COVID. So he told me, get this mic, just plug it into your computer, you'll be fine. I said, fine. Did it. Then they asked me again for more stuff. Then COVID happened. Everything went dead. I didn't hear nothing from nobody. And then in May or like April, late April, that's when they started calling again. They were like, we would like to do a Zoom. Okay. Another Zoom. Yeah. I'm doing Zoom interviews with 20 people. I don't see their faces, only one person.
Wow.
Mind you, I don't know the network. I don't know who created it. What all I know is that I'm reading for an aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And so boom, I did all the interviews. Then I get the non so glamorous. You got the job. It was so like, oh, here,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I forgot to tell you, you got the job.
Oh yeah, right, right.
And yeah, I ended up finding out that it was on PBS Kids. It was for Maria. It was just, God just came through. And mind you, I didn't have to worry about getting out there really working because at that point I was collecting unemployment until I got the job. So I was in
Right.
employment. Then we had the COVID, we had the checks coming through. So God again made sure I was well taken
Provided.
care of, providing till my next door opened. And that's how I ended up getting. I just found it online.
Right.
And that's it. The rest has been history. I've been doing it now. It's going on. It's about to be 2 years.
So y'all did what, 2 seasons or 3 seasons?
Oh, we're only it premiered in October. So
Oh, okay.
this is it. Like it takes a year almost to record, not even half a year. You
Mm.
got to record and then match your voice with a cartoon that somebody else is drawing.
Oh wow.
That's how it ended up being. But yeah, it was nothing glamorous. Like I didn't go to school for this. Nobody told me fine and
Yeah.
applied.
Like, so real quick, tell us a little overview of the show for those that want to watch it with their kids.
Yes, Alma's Way is about a beautiful little girl from the Bronx. She's 6 years old. And Alma is this vibrant little girl from the Bronx who is the image. It's everything about Sonia Manzano. Sonia Manzano is better known as Maria from Sesame Street. And so we're going to be following, on the show, we're following Alma making decisions because the show is all about making sure that the kids know that they have a brain. Even though, contrary to what our parents, older people,
Yeah.
our parents be like, shut your mouth. I tell you what to do. I tell you when to move. You don't think,
Right.
this
Yeah.
show wants to empower the kids to use your mind. Okay. And it's a multicultural show. So it's not just, yes, you're probably thinking, how am I going to relate to a 6-year-old Puerto Rican from the
Yeah.
Bronx?
Yeah.
I'm in Tampa,
Right.
I'm African American.
Right.
So there's all her friends as well that are going to be part of the show. We're just seeing it through the eyes of Alma, but she's going to be going through situations. We have my son on the show is disabled. So we're learning how she's working with her cousin who's disabled, making him feel normal or understanding why he has to walk with crutches. Then making her favorite food. We all have our mom's favorite food that she cooks. Maybe when
Right.
she does bad, you think you want to help by adding a little bit of extra salt to it, whatever food it is. And you mess it up, but you
Yeah.
want to hide it and let your mom think that she did it. And then in the show, you realize, it's better to tell the truth than to tell a lie or hide it because you're not doing anything better for yourself or the person that you're, trying to make sure they don't feel bad. So we have that. We also have language barrier because we have people from London, Australia, or Japan. I think
Oh wow.
that episode, but we'll have that. So it's like all types.
Oh,
And we're gonna
that sounds.
how to get along and just use your mind and have fun. And dancing and music is all about the show. So you're gonna learn about the Puerto Rican culture. I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, but I'm Latina. So
Right.
we all know a lot of us know about our cultures, each other's cultures. So that's why I get to play her aunt because I'm Hispanic.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
we learned about the bomba, the dancing. I didn't know that one. I didn't know how bomba was. But it's a big old festivity dance that antiguo, old times, a dance. But yeah, that's what the show's gonna be about.
Nice.
I play her aunt. I am the big sister to everybody that I meet. I want to help everybody. So if your mic's about to go down, I'm like, yo, send me the mic. Let me fix it for you. Cause I'm like the MacGyver too. I sit there and fix it all and then I send it back. And I just want to make sure that everybody's happy.
Do you see yourself personally in the character?
Yes. This character was written about me. The only difference is I don't have children.
Right.
That's the only difference. But besides that, yes, I want to help everybody. I want to be part of your life. Anything that like if you wanted to get into voice acting, tell me. I'll tell you who you need to call. I'll send me your air check. I'm like, that's not redo it. Here's mine.
Yeah.
That's always been me. Anybody who knows me knows that I will do that. That's not a problem. I will sit there and fix your car for you. I don't care. I might not know. It's called YouTube and Google, but
There you
I'll
go.
sit there and
Right.
do it with you. And that's what Jutia Gloria is. Just happy, positive, and having fun. Look at the bright side of things.
Right. So, what keeps you motivated to inspire other people?
Going through what I went through. You know, um, I'm like one of those parents that don't want to see their kids follow in your footsteps.
Right.
So that motivates me. Like, okay, let me put you on to what I went through, so you don't got to go through it. And if I could get you from A to Z without having to go through all the other letters of the alphabet, then by all means, let's do it, because we need more people that to help. Because I was given the help
Right.
when I needed it, or when God felt like, okay, you need help, take a left. This person's gonna be at that corner waiting for you, and they're gonna help you. So I want to be that person for anybody. I'll give you as much money as I can, but I ain't gonna give you a lot because I ain't got a lot. I'm
Right.
right
Right.
right now. But matter of fact, I won't give you the money. I'll pay whatever it is that you need.
Right.
Got it. All right. Or I'll help you write whatever you need. Like I said, it just brings such happiness because God's always done it for me. Why can't I do it for others?
Facts. So, what's some future endeavors that you got coming?
Well, Tia Gloria is right now
Right.
the main future endeavor. Hopefully, no, I know it. And I believe in manifestation.
Absolutely.
Google that. Okay. If you don't know anything about it, manifest, speaking positivity into your life, saying everything with a grateful, thankful heart, that it's
Prayer.
yours. It's already happened. So I am an Emmy winner. Okay. I'm manifesting it. I'm saying it.
Claim
That's
it.
my future endeavor, being a Emmy winner. Okay. That's what you're going to introduce me moving forward. Okay. Um, future endeavor also,
Any projects? Anything?
no projects besides being because I got to pay bills. The Gloria doesn't pay all the time. For those that might think I'm a recurring voice actor on the show, but I'm not a main one, so I'm not in every episode. So because of
Right.
that, I only record maybe once or twice a month, and I only get paid per recording. So I got to work. So, honey,
Right.
over here is about to be a ticket agent at Alaska Airlines. Yes. And I love it because it allows me to travel.
Right.
Wanted to do a travel show, and because there's no travel show, I got, there's no, at this moment, there's no audition,
Auditions.
but
Right.
I'm going to create a lane for myself, and I'm going to continue with my YouTube, and I will be doing my traveling. Now, thank God, thank him above, because he could have put me anywhere.
Right.
I wanted to do, honey. Okay. So he allowed me now to work for an airlines where I get to get discounted flights, even fly for free at sometimes. And then I'm gonna use that to go record in wherever else in the country. Because a lot of times it's not the hotel or where to stay because you might have friends. It's the flight
Mhm.
where it's
Mhm.
expensive. So
Mhm.
I give thanks to God that he opened up this door. And so that's matter of fact, yes, that's my next venture. Hosting a travel show thanks to Alaska Airlines.
I saw on your YouTube you were like I said, I went back in the archives. I went all the way back like early when you broadcasted live from the Gasparilla Parade. It was like 2013. I went back all the way
Oh
there.
my
Like,
God, that's so long.
and then I was like preparing for this, and then I saw where you went to the BT experience in LA. That
Yeah.
was tight to see. Tell me a little bit about that real quick.
On BT?
Yeah,
Oh my,
that is.
that was for work. So, well, it depends. Well, no, well, yeah, depending on which one you sold. Uh,
Y'all was in the big room, all
okay,
the
that was
radio.
work. That was work because before I ever really got put on, I paid my own way to BET. You could as well submit to be doing red carpet interviews
Oh,
or
nice.
the media room. Usually, the media room is for like radio stations, so it's a little
Right.
harder to get in unless you have big numbers, which I know you probably do, right? If
Yes.
you can't do that room, then there's also the red carpet. So I
Right.
I went freaking paid my own way, and I wasn't even representing a radio station. I was just doing my own little thing at that time. And I did interviews, but the video you saw, I went there for WMBM in New York, and my job was to sit there and do interviews for my show in New York. That was it, and it was phenomenal, so much fun.
It looked like it.
Yeah, but it's so quick, because you're in a room. There's at least 200 stations there with you, all trying to get artists.
Right.
So if in front of me is 2 Chainz, and on the right is Chris Brown, and behind me is Alicia Keys, and nobody here, I'm over here trying to politic to their label rep, like, yo, when they're done there, come see me, please.
Oh, yeah,
come
right.
over here, come over. So that's the thing, and you only got like a minute or so because they got to get everybody. So,
right.
Mind you, you're in there with Hot 97, 99 Jams, you're with LA stations, Chicago, that are, even though I'm in New York, and you would think I'm number one as well.
Yeah.
It's knocked down in that feeling of, yo, I'm the they're like, yeah. And they come and, you got to fight to try to get these artists. We had, what is it? Megan Thee Stallion. I couldn't interview her. She went to 3 stations and she left.
That's it.
Let me see. Chris did a couple, but mine wasn't one of them. So, it's very humbling, but it's a lot of fun. They they give you a hotel, they fly you out.
Oh.
Go, honey. And then you get to go to some label parties. So it's fun. It's fun. It's just a lot of work, though.
A lot of work.
And you don't even know who's coming to the room. So you know how you prepared, which I have to say, applause to you, sir. You are fabulous at this game, okay?
Thank you.
You will be picked up very soon, all right?
Thank you.
If that's the lane you want. I can't what you want. Which, after I answer my part, I want to know, what is your ultimate goal? Whatever. I forgot what I was going to say, but go ahead. Tell me. I want to know, what is your ultimate goal?
I just want to get my myself as a brand out to the world. I've always wanted to had a dream of getting my thoughts and speaking my heart and my mind, because that's why I started podcasting, because I always was the type of person, my family would call me radio, because as a kid I would talk so much. So I always wanted to be able to speak my heart and my mind without ridicule. And I'm not saying say any outlandish things, but the regular everyday conversations without somebody judging me. But my ultimate goal is to have a successful show, whether it be on the radio or on the internet or a podcast, whatever. I also do photography, videography. So my hands are in media, like I'm deep in this. So, what I'm saying? I'm just looking for that opportunity, whatever God blesses me with, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you ever, to start off, if I could just give you some suggestions, as before I got on the radio, as it getting paid for anything, I did WMF in Jersey, in Tampa, community station, and those people look at them like, oh, I don't want to do that. But let me tell you something. There are a lot of people that listen to it. It's just like podcasts, which in reality you don't need to do WMNF. You're good right now in the lane that you are. But if you wanted to, it is community funded, and you do get to touch. I believe doing WMNF for me, I really got to touch the community and people that really needed to hear, because a big majority, I ain't gonna front, are those that are locked up.
Fact.
And sometimes they need some hope, sometimes they need motivation, sometimes they need to hear a funny story of what happened in life. That was one experience that I will never regret that I ever did. I love it. It also helped me be who I am. But you are like fabulous, yo. I don't know what's taking so long for Orlando. That's the program director of Wild, or Tommy Chuck, or
But you know what's crazy? And I appreciate your kind words, I really do. I always had a dream, because I manifest too, and I always said that I believe in the power of manifestation and prayer.
Yes.
And
which are the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to be on the community radio, like have my own, like I told my business partner this, like in the future I wanted to do like underground hip hop, because I love like that 90s, early 2000s hip hop, have like artists come in and freestyle, like how I used to be back in the day. Come freestyle, get their stuff off of me, interview them, and get their stuff out to the circuit. That's like one of my things that I wanted to do, but I just wanted to be on the freaking radio. That's it.
It's a drug, boy. I ain't even gonna, because podcast is it's a different type of drug, but that radio, like people feel like they need it. You don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Not now. Back then, yes. Now, no, but it's like you won't. I know how it feels. Like you won't feel like you've accomplished until you got that stamp. Like, okay, I'm on it. And a little tip for anybody who, and yourself, if I don't know if you knew this, you can buy airtime. I don't know if that's the lane you want, and I don't should, because I think you're extremely talented. I believe you should be paid to be on the radio, but all it is that you want to get on there so that you can ultimately transition over, because the chances now of being on the radio it's so hard. It was hard then, but right now it's so hard, because you're not only competing with people in your city, but you're competing with the whole world, because everybody's on the internet doing podcasts. And I don't want that to ever be anything negative for anybody who's listening, but use this as motivation, but you can pay. It would be like a late night show, or maybe even a Sunday show. Every radio station sells airtime. They're in business, they sell. So you buy an hour slot, and you could do a show, and there's no commercial that comes on. The only commercial would be the one that you sell or that you created yourself, because you paid for that show. And I think that show, and I don't know if every radio station does it, but I want to say 90% of them, okay, do it. You buy it, probably be Sunday early morning or Sunday late night. It would have to fit with the format of the station. So if you're trying to do underground hip hop, then please don't go to FLZ. I don't even think they do it, but I would go to the Beat. Find the sales manager, find the sales rep, and ask them, do you have airtime? Do you have an hour? All right. And then you could have a show, or even Wild does it. Or you could buy artists. Let me tell you this thing. Any artist that's listening, you want your song to play, right? You buy a commercial. You can have your song playing in the beginning and at the end, as long as it fits in within 60 seconds. If that's the time you bought, your song is on the radio. Don't nobody how it was on. How will they know it was on? But that gives you another listen, even though you don't need it, because again, you got social media. This is your biggest monster. This is right here. This is how you get on now. Oh yes, honey. This is how you get on. But if you wanted to, you can buy airtime for an hour. But again, I wouldn't want you to. But if you wanted to, by all means, feel free, and I'll produce that bad boy.
No, when we done, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you, because I want you to pass me on some information. So I had planned on doing that after the interview anyway. So I had this all planned. But
listen.
So before we get up out of here, if a person is trying to get into radio and they're lost, and like you said, like they're trying to get that first big break, what kind of game would you give them so they can get their foot in the door?
First and foremost, I'd be like, yo, you got to air check. At least it might be old school and archaic, but have an air check, because it at least shows that you care about the game, really care about it. Because if you're going in there for the money, honey, there's not really a lot of money in this radio game, especially compared to Florida to New York. Here is a union. In Florida, there's no union, so you could be making minimum wage and on air. So don't do this for the money, and don't do this for the fame. Do this because you love it, because if you got no money and you really famous, you're gonna fall, at least because of social media. And I'm not wishing that on nobody. I'm just being as honest as can be. First, do this because you love it, because A, you music, because B, you like talking to people and you have the gift of gab. Once you realize that's good, you good with making, doing 3 jobs just to be able to keep that one radio job, then there you go. We could have a better conversation. Then I'd be like, make an air check. So I show the program director, hey, this is how I would sound on air. He says, no, I can't get you in, but I can get you in as a board op or a street team. Take it. It might be ass job, the bullshit of having to drive a van to Polk County,
Yeah.
Tampa, then go to whatever.
Yeah.
It's about banner. Nobody knows your name, but you're learning, because a lot of times you got to learn. You got to learn, where do you put the banners up? How do you do even call-ins? You don't want to be on the air and then going to place. I don't know what a call-in. As a street teamer, you know how to do a call-in, because you got to patch it in, call the station. Back then you would have it in a van. You would have them go in the van, record, and send it in. Then
Right.
to the phone, because we had cell phones. Then now, you record it before you leave and make it sound real. So I would recommend you do street team if you can, and then get in there and be a board op. Because once you know how to run the board, somebody messes up. Like if it happened to me. I was on my second radio job. I didn't really know how to run the board. I had somebody running the board for me.
Mm-hmm.
The fucker, who I love to death still, left the mic on, and I cursed when the mic was on. Lost my job, but he took it because he was running the board. I got fired right at that moment.
Right.
A lot of time board ops are the next ones that people trust to be on air. So if I get in there with an air check, and if you're that great, they'll hire you, and you could be on a show with someone else, but you won't have your own show, because we don't trust you yet. If you can't do the air check, then go in there and be a street teamer, be a board op, or be even a sales assistant. Get a job in the building, build relationships, learn, see everything, and then grow from there. And just wait for an opportunity. Don't get nobody fired, and don't wish nobody to get fired. Keep a good open heart.
Right.
But when it's your time, God will open up that door. But you gotta definitely put in that work. I know it's tough. Got to.
So afternoon radio, because I listen to Sirius XM a lot.
And they're hiring.
Are they?
Oh yeah, they're hiring like crazy right now.
Really?
Oh yeah, apply.
I listen to the NBA radio and the NFL radio. I love sports, so that's all I listen to.
Yo, I'm telling you, they're hiring. Again, you don't need these outlets. It's just a little notch on your belt, but you can make bread right now with what you're doing. And you don't think like, oh, I gotta have Beats. Bitch, you don't have to get Beats by Dre to sponsor you. You don't gotta get Spotify to sponsor you. You can make bread with the companies that are locally around you. Like don't sit here and be like, I gotta no. Like I make money a lot of times just posting on my Instagram, because I'm not a big number person, and people trust me just like I would trust you. Because I listen, if somebody were to hit me up, right, an artist, yo, I'm about to go sit down and chop it up with old boy. Try to talk to Guru. I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, this boy does his work. He's a great conversationalist. I feel very relaxed. Go ahead, talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So you can make money off of this. Now, if you were a dick, I'd be like, nah, man.
Hell no, I ain't. So let me ask you this. So in radio, so the big dogs, is that the morning show people? That's that's the elite talent, or is it, how does that work?
It all depends. Back then, morning radio used to be like, and then afternoons flopped, and afternoons became the number one time slot, and then nights. So it all depends on the station, the market you're in.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's never really been like, oh, you're a star because you're on the station.
Yeah.
But mornings, afternoon, and nights I think it's an even playing ground. It's just the talent. Whoever's the talent is the one that is the popular one, not the slot, the person.
So is sports talk radio different than like?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sports talk. Before I cut you off, sports talk is different from radio, from music, from R&B, hip hop, because we have music in between our conversations. In sports, if you're on the radio for 3 hours, you are talking for
3 hours. Yeah.
You know how hard that is. Cool. Especially when you're by yourself. Like, no. That's why I haven't done a podcast. But if you could talk by yourself for 3 hours, keep people's attention, not make them want to leave. Stay focused on you while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're taking care of the kids. Boy, you have the gift of gab. Okay. And you
Yeah.
have to be very knowledgeable, at least in R&B and music. This person wore blue at the award show. Not on the website.
Yeah.
On sports, you gotta sit here like, matter of fact, what happened yesterday to the Chiefs?
What happened to them?
Yeah, somebody got hurt.
I don't know, because after I love the Bucks, so after our game, I just be going the rest about my Sunday. So I don't really.
No, papi. You listen. You have to be a student of the game 24/7. Lesson number 2.
I usually keep up, but yesterday, I was with family after the Bucks played. So I know they struggling. That's what I do know.
Oh, no, I know they got their ass whooped. Okay, I saw that one. But somebody got hurt, from what I hear. I'm not a sports enthusiast. My brother is a sports Bible, but you, Mister, you want to do sports radio, you have to like get these alerts that if somebody were to ask you, like right now, like if I said, okay, I want to offer you a job on WDAE, which I worked at. Hey, hi Ian. Who got hurt yesterday? You better have that answer for me, senor.
I believe it was Patrick Mahomes. I believe.
Yeah, he did. But what happened though? Can you believe that he got his neck cracked?
Really?
Oh, that's not the truth. But I'm saying shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Like that's, you have to be prepared. If you say this is what you want, you have to be ready for it. So there goes another, like, I might not know everything with radio, but boy, or at least the personalities, but I will have the gift of gab to be like, you know what, I missed it yesterday, but did you see what happened? Find a way to flip it. Nah, man, I missed that. I think it was Pat Mahomes, but did you see him the last game? Oh boy, it's crazy. Maybe that's why he got hurt. They figured that part out. But yes, I need you to study all of it, okay, Mr. Sports Animal.
So one more thing.
Don't say one more thing. Just keep talking till you're done. You be like, okay, bye, we're done.
Well, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, ITSLALOCA. It's La Loca. You can find me on YouTube. I will be back with my vlogs. I was thinking about not doing it, but I'm coming back to vlogs. I like it. It's my confessional, and I let people see what I'm going through, like the real struggles. Because on Instagram, you gotta be really quick.
Right.
Now you can have the long form and have fun.
Yeah.
So that's what vlogging is for me. I just like to show it. So I'm going back to the vlogs. Again, it's La Loca TV, and then you could catch me on Aboutelmas Way Monday through Monday. They do replays 8:30 in the morning, or at least here in New York. Check your local listings, or at 5:30 in the afternoon. But again, check your local listings. It's PBS Kids. You go to pbskids.org. You can check me out there, as well as the Gloria. And yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you, La Loca, for sitting down with your boy. Next time when you in town,
yeah,
we're gonna do it in person.
Yeah, we go to a restaurant, eat, set up, and do it there, and then it'll be a sports bar. What we could do, we'll do it from there. We talk to the manager. Maybe you could do that from there regularly and do a sports show, and then have all the athletes come through. Come on, man, you got to think of a business at all times.
Definitely. But I'm gonna reach out to you after we done, and so we can exchange info. But thank you for everybody that's watching. Your boy, this is Guru Reviews. New season. Y'all know I transferred my name. I changed my name. It's not Guru Speaks no more. It's Guru's Views. I'm speaking. It's from my view now. So, all right, y'all. We out here. God bless. The marathon continues.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.